We're joined now by Business Minister Anne-Marie Trevelyan. Good morning, Minister. You're here, I believe, to talk to us about... There she is. Where are you? There we are. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
To talk about the fact you're going to move the end of coal in the UK. You're going to move the date earlier for the environment. What's happening?
So that's right. So back in 2017, we set the marker that by 2025, we would no longer be producing electricity from coal-fired power stations. And we've been able to make such good progress. Those businesses running those power stations have transitioned, in the case of, for instance, Drax in Yorkshire, to biomass. And of course, we've grown our renewable sector so spectacularly well. We have 29% of the whole of the world's offshore wind at the moment. The UK has great benefits. We are an island surrounded by wind, and we're really harnessing that renewable energy. So we're able to say that actually bringing that date forward from 2025 to 24, so that we don't do any more electricity generation from unabated coal, which of course is sadly the most polluting of all the fossil fuels. So we're really keen to set that example. And of course, as part of our presidency of COP26, we're encouraging other countries around the world to do the same.
Now, of course, we all want sustainable energy and it's important to do. But what do you think the impact on people's household bills will be from this move? Because renewable can be expensive.
So our energy system has a mix of energies. It always has done, but the balance obviously is shifting to more renewables. We have a price cap in place for those most vulnerable, and we continue to manage going forwards how we will support those in need of support, and making sure that what we are doing is both having value for money and a good, very importantly, a security of supply, and of course that prices are reasonable and that the costs are shared across all those who consume, from you and me in our homes through to big business.
I'm very glad you mentioned the price cap, Minister, because, of course, it's due for a review on the 1st of October, okay, which is not long away, and we're nearly at the end of the period where wholesale prices are assessed to decide what it will be. Now, on my numbers, working with Cornwall Energy Insights, the price cap is going to rise by a horrific £110 on the 1st of October. I'd take £5 either side of that, but we're going to see a massive rise in prices. People aren't switching now because that's not factored in their bills, so they do a comparison. They don't think they'll switch much. The way the price cap is structured is fundamentally flawed, because what it's going to do is put prices up in October when they're high now, even if they come down in October. Is there anything you're going to do when that announcement comes of huge price hikes to hit millions of homes across the country to try and improve the situation for people?
So as our policies move forwards, and as part of all the work we're doing to transition to net zero, we will be bringing forward a number of policies. But you make a really important point, Martin, which is about switching. And as one of the things that and both government and all of us need to do is think about how we make us all become much more active participants in our energy use. And switching is one of the key tools to help consumers do that. Over 60% of people haven't done any switching. They remain with their energy supplier and have done for a long time. So we are looking at how we can find new ways to help them do that, so that people are getting
If you'll forgive me, Minister, I think the Ofgem research shows I'm responsible for more people switching and encouraging them to switch than anybody else in the country. And my problem is your price cap policy, which is going to go up in October, means if somebody does a comparison now, they're told they won't save much by switching, even though we, those of us in the know that in October price is going to rise hugely, and that is not factored into the comparison. Now, you're not helping on that matter, and I would like you to address the fact that probably in about a month and a half, there is going to be an announcement of £110 a year rise in energy bills for someone on typical use for millions of homes. How do you feel about it? Were you aware that was going to happen? Have you done the numbers?
So Ofgem obviously are an independent regulator, and they set the framework, and we have a very close working relationship with them. But really importantly, and I think to a point, and I don't for a minute suggest that you aren't absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. I think you are, one of those voices who has been so clearly helping consumers to understand how to get best value for money and to seek out good prices. That we will need to continue to do that, not only in the short term, as you say, but actually in the longer term. We have got to really encourage everyone to be a much more active participant in their energy use.
Maybe if we structured the price cap properly, they'd be able to do so. Susanna, I'll let you switch subject.
Well, you know, one of the other things that's going to come to an end around the same time is the uplift of £20 a week in universal credit. And people are beside themselves facing that loss of cash after a really, really hard year. Almost half of adults on universal credit surveyed worried that it's going to affect their ability to afford food. I mean, we talk about the choice between heating or eating. Why are you taking away £20 a week from low-income families?
So clearly not within my brief, and the government will set out how this moves forward in the future. But I think there are so many aspects of support that we need to make sure that everyone who does need them is accessing them. Certainly as a constituents MP, that's something that often we help constituents to do when they find themselves in difficulty, and indeed Citizens Advice have also been, I've got some amazing Citizens Advice teams in my patch who are brilliant at making sure that those on restricted incomes are able to...
Can we get back to Anne-Marie Trevelyan?
I have to say, on the universal credit issue, well, it's also important, the whole way the system is designed for people with mental health means many people can't access it. But I believe we've got the Minister back with us. I'm so sorry, we lost your signal there. If you want to carry on, you were talking about Citizens Advice people in your area.
And the advice that people get is, of course, very important. But this government keeps hammering home the levelling up agenda. And I cannot understand how you can talk about levelling up when you're about to level down low-income families by £20 a week. It's around £1,000 a year when they are coming through the toughest economic period in their lives.
So I think over the last year, I completely agree. It's been an incredibly challenging time, and the Chancellor has had absolute focus ensuring that we could support as many people as well as we could, things like the furlough scheme, and ensuring, as you say, that the universal credit system worked. An extraordinary achievement, actually, that under the huge amount of pressure that it came under, it was able to continue to work and to support all those who needed that extra help through what has been, as we all agree, an incredibly challenging year.
But why are you going to take it away?
So as we move forwards, and you know, I'm not in the Treasury, I'm not the Chancellor, so we will continue to move forwards and see how that progresses. The really important thing is to make sure that those families who have issues, and that, you know, to my area of government, and making sure that we are able to make sure that our revenue systems are robust and our value for money, and in the long term that we.
Oh dear.
We are going to be a really important part of that.
Well, Minister, you're not in the Treasury, but you are in the Department for Business. We had someone on earlier who had lost £120,000 from a scam advert. I just think we've just got a clip of this now for you.
I've never touched my savings. Part of my pension was in that pot as well. So they were very, very sophisticated. Yes. It's very hard with my daughters, was hard because they tried to advise me, maybe do not invest all your money in the same company. But I was just so sure they were legitimate.
Now, I'm one of the two people whose faces are most used in scam adverts. I do wonder if the Prime Minister was as trusted as much as me, and he was in those scam adverts. Forgive me, that wasn't self-aggrandisation or not deliberately. I wonder if you would decide to put scam adverts in the online safety bill. I'm trying to get an answer on this. You're going to regulate user-generated scams. Why is the government going to exclude scam adverts from the huge online safety bill? Why are you not going to protect people like Teresa, who lost £120,000 from scam adverts? Is it because you just don't care, or is there some structural reason?
So the draft bill obviously marks a milestone in the government's fight to make the internet safe, and it will move forward. So, you know, we are.
Please don't read the script. Do you know an answer? I'll accept. I don't know. It's not my department. If you honestly don't,
no,
but don't read the script
it's
at me.
I'm very happy to take it away, and I will, you know, discuss it with the minister. And I have no doubt that officials are watching GMB this morning and will take that away and consider the challenge. I think, you know, incredibly tragic story there that you highlighted, and you know, that is all part of the challenge that we are doing in trying to get to grips with how we make the internet safe.
Thank you very much, Minister, for your time.
Anne-Marie Trevelyan, I'm going to take that information back to the department, and I mean, it needs fixing, as does universal credit uplift, I would say, as well. Thank you very much indeed for your time this morning. Good to see you.